Oh, excuse me. Goodness gracious. All right. Getting it together. Getting it together. Be having quite a few things to do every day. Goodness gracious. All right. Where we at? We are here. And got that muted. What's up, Don? All right, let me see if I can get this link here. Set my timer up. Do a bunch of stuff. Okay, got that. Got that. This market looking good. Market is looking good. Market is looking good, slightly out of position. Time is all off. I got to reset that. All right, time is good. And a couple more things to do. What the heck else? I was about to do something else. Hold up. Didn't get to do it yet. Okay, that's one. This is two. Three. And what's the other one? Four. Okay. Excuse me. All right, there it is. There it is. All right, where we at? Yeah, this market looking good, man. Market is looking good. See if this thing actually gets in position and sets up before we close today. This week was a good week. Good week of training. I've been hearing some very good results coming from many of the students. Also, you know, of course, always going to hear the struggles, but we overcome the struggles, and that's it. It is what it is. It's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. Let me go to the chat. Let me see. Yes, indeed. What's happening, David? Happy Friday to you, sir. All right. Don't have that much time, actually. I'm actually gonna have to leave shortly. I don't know exactly when, but in the interim, I'll be right here waiting and watching the charts, seeing what the market does before it closes up. Zilla, what's good? Training, typically the live training is 9ish. And I say 9ish because it can be anywhere between 9 to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it lasts anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, depending on what is actually going on during the training. And that's every day. So it falls within that time frame every day. Yes. Patrick said, invest in time and patience. It pays dividends. Yes, it does. It pays hefty dividends. In fact, what's good, Ed? Let me see. All right, market moving around a little bit now. So it's a mark when you come time to do taxes. Do you list yourself as self-employed? Yes. You can list yourself as self-employed, or depending on how you have things set up, you could file under like an LLC or file under a corporation. If you have some type of business structure set up, you can file as an actual corporation or an LLC. If you're doing it through as a sole proprietorship, then you would be filing self-employed, yes. And you are going to have to pay self-employment tax, but it's not as much as you think. By the time you actually find out the things that you qualify for as far as deductions, you're going to pay way less tax than you actually think that you are on your earnings. Zilla's 1-0. Very nice. Don't need any mishaps on Friday. Shit, don't need no mishaps on any day. For real, for real. But yeah, I understand what you mean, though. Friday in particular is a day where a lot of people who trade, it's psychological. It's amplified as a psychological trigger for them. Some traders, some people who trade feel like, oh, I need to get a trade before the market closes. And they do something stupid. Then others become very conservative and they'll say, hey, I'm not trading at all on Fridays. You know what I mean? And they'll do that type of thing. I think that as you fine tune your skill and your ability in the market, you're not going to care either way. You know, if you happen to be on the charts on a Friday, it's going to be just like any other day. There's no difference. You know, I know that. And see, the thing about it is people have a tendency to regurgitate what they hear. So you always hear things like, oh, be careful on Friday, you know, be careful on this day, be careful when this happens, be careful when that. The market is always the market. Everything is already priced into whatever the market is doing at the time, whatever news or events is going on. All of it is priced into the market. You know, sometimes there are very influential news releases that come out, like non-farm payroll, producer price index, consumer price index. These news releases, sometimes the FOMC has the minutes, or they meet, or somebody's doing a speech, and it affects the markets. I literally no longer keep track of any of it because everything is already priced into the actual market that you're looking at. So when you look at price, you're looking at whatever has affected price already priced into the market, period. You know, like that's it. So because of what we do, our job is just simply to interpret what the market is doing, interpret what it's saying. It speaks through its movement and through its behavior. So as your ear, your inner market ear, becomes more in tune with the language that the market speaks, everything that you do when you look at the market and you observe is going to be consistent with whatever's going to lead up to profit if you do trade, and what is going to prevent you from losing trades. Because you know how to speak the language of the market. You know how to interpret what the market is saying at the time. And there's only one or two things that you're doing. You're either staying out, or ultimately the market will position itself to give you some type of profitable trade. That's it. Our options don't go beyond that. We either win when we do trade, or we don't trade at all. That's powerful, man. It's very powerful. Yep. Ed, appreciate the 411. Definitely. Definitely. Ooh, excuse me. Patrick said, when he's 1-0 today, feels great and no need for more. Nope. Yep, Zilla said, as long as you keep winning. Yes, indeed. Oh, I get it. Win. Good name, as long as you keep winning. David want to know for the week. Got it on recording. Restarted my account to do Project 21. I'll post the whole movie for people to watch when I'm done. Yes. Yes, definitely want to see. Definitely would love to see. And I know I haven't talked about it in a while, but I'm still, I still feel the same way about recording. And I encourage you guys to record when you can, because it's a very powerful training tool, not only for you but for other people in the group, for sure. As always, I'm documenting my whole the Project 21. Look, he asking about it as I'm saying it. I think I got 5 trades left in Project 21. But what I mentioned, and I mentioned it yesterday, but what I've been doing, I want to slow it down. You know, I've been talking to you guys a lot about um, allowing the market to do what it does, waiting for the best opportunity to come. You know, if you assume that you are going to end up averaging 1 trade a week, it would technically take you 21 weeks. So I always just keep that in the back of my mind. And I know that even though people don't mean to, but when they see me do it and they see how fast it happens, it does something to them psychologically, because they're like, damn, he did it in X amount of days. And it's like, it's not even weeks. Whereas when I'm talking about it with you guys, I'm encouraging you to try to trade less and just allow the market to give you the trade and only take the one that the market gives you, period. And if you get into the mindset of doing that, you'll get more trades than you actually think that you will. You don't even realize how many trades you end up getting when you just wait for MRMH and the follow through trades. It's a lot of trades. But people don't, the thing about it is that you don't have a large number of people doing that at the same time. Everyone kind of does their own version of what it is that they're being trained to do. So it looks different from all of the different perspectives of each person that's training. Like, every student has their own version of how long it's going to take. So for that reason, I've been intentionally, just doing stuff to slow it down, because I don't want to let it seem like it happened mad fast, even though it did happen mad fast. It always happens fast for me, but I know that that's not the norm, especially for those who are newer. I don't want you to think in terms of that. Oh, well, it only took Mark 30 something days. That's a month. And it's like, if I'm telling you to spread it out more over time, but then when you see me do it, I do it in a month. It's like, you hear me when I tell you about one a week, but then you see me when I'm doing the project and it only took me a month. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm doing things to intentionally slow it down, so that I can also delay the timing of when the videos will be released, just so that there's more time in between. So that's kind of that's the reason why I haven't released anything yet. I'm still trying to stretch the time, I think, more than anything, on purpose. But matter of fact, speaking of that, let me see something. I want to see something real quick. Because, then another thing is like, what be slow for me is still fast. So let me see. I took the first trade Took the first trade on July 26th. So July 26th, August, September. First trade on the 26th. I did 11 trades altogether from the 26th to August 5th. How many days is that? You see how little time that is? I basically was halfway through the 26th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 30th, 31st, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. 10 days. Halfway through the shit in 10 days. Like, and you have to realize also that when I'm trading, I'm also very focused at the time that I'm on the chart. So sometimes I might be up at different times. It's not always the trade taking place at the same time of day. There might be days like, look, let me see the times. One of them 10 o'clock in the morning. Another one was at 12:30 in the afternoon. Another one is at 12:56. Another one at 8:01 p.m. Another one at 8:40. Another one 6:27 p.m. 7:15 p.m. Another one 12:55 a.m. So that's late. Another one 4:36 a.m. in the morning. So you see like how the times are different. They spread out all over the place depending on what I'm doing at the time. And mind you, this is with me being on the charts less. That's being on the charts with less time. And it's still happening like mad fast. That's 10 days. 11 trades in 10 days. So that's why I slowed it down, because I'm like, I don't want to keep doing that. I don't mean to do it. I don't mean to do it. But it's difficult not to do it when you trade. Like, this is what I do. So, but I'm trying to give a different pace to account for what you would experience as a student. You know, not only as a new student, but as an existing student. You know, you gotta like, I would rather you take your time and really build up your ability to recognize the right time in the market. Recognize when the right time is to be in the market if an opportunity is presented. That's what I want you to become good at. I don't want you to get into the habit of trying to find a good trade. And you guys hear me talk about that all the time. There's no such thing as a good trade. What do I mean by that? It's not about the trade. It's about the time that you take the trade. So if you're positioned in a trade at the wrong time, the trade could have looked beautiful. It's set up. Ooh, this is nice. Yeah, it did this, it did that. You know, all the parameters were in place. You know, I was looking at this and looking at that. But your timing is off. And because your timing is off, you were not thoroughly in tune with the behavior at the time. You might have had something else off. Maybe this, the environment wasn't right. If something ain't right and there is any type of instability in the market will remind you that you was off. The trade set up, but your timing was off. So that means that what you thought was a good trade, if you took it at the wrong time, you will get slapped. You will get slapped. So for that reason, we need to make sure that we take the initiative to reverse where the focus and the energy is going. Your energy and focus should be on being able to identify the right time. Period. Not a good trade. Oh, Mark, is this a good trade? You know, like people will send me recordings. They'll ask me to look at a trade at a certain time. You know, oh, was this trade right? I'm more interested in, was the environment right? Was the behavior of the market at that time right? Because that's going to give me more relevant information as to whether or not you're going to win whatever trade you took at the time. You know, maybe the trade that you took wasn't the best trade. In other words, you might have seen something after the fact and you already entered. You might have messed up. I want you to, if you mess up at the right time. That's what I'm saying. And that's the, you know, that's it's weird to hear that, but it makes perfect sense. If you mess up at the right time. Don't mess up with identifying the wrong time. Don't let your mess up be not understanding that you're attempting to trade at the wrong time. Don't let that be the mess up. Let your mess up be you took the wrong trade at the right time. If you're gonna mess up like that. That's what I'm saying. Winston said, I prefer Mark Fuller trade my project 21 account for me and I get all the wins. If you follow protocol, I am trading the account for you. Oh, that's hard. That's hard. Mm-hmm. Patrick, when the training of TA sinks in, you start to look at the market differently, like looking at a Rubik's Cube and knowing how to solve it. No more guessing. I see Patrick shooting for the mic drop again today. Jay Carly, let's learn to ask the right questions about the market and our trades taken or the trades not taken. Yes. Yes. It's one of the reasons why in training, many times when I do pop quizzes or I do a test, I ask you, why wouldn't I take the trade? I won't say, hey, is this a good trade to take? I'm going to ask you, what DQ'd the trade first? You know, that type of stuff. Sometimes we might see a valid setup, but there's something else off. And I'll ask, this setup looked great, but why would we not be able to take it? And then boom, everybody would be able to identify that it has something to do with environment or behavior at the time. That tells you a lot about where the focus and where the energy needs to be. That's where it needs to be. That's exactly where it needs to be. Yep. Oh man. It is raining, it's drizzling. That's why I sound low like this, because the rain always puts me to sleep for some reason. I don't know why. But I've been like that my entire life. Oh, that's what I meant to do over here. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. What time is it? 336. Oh, not quite. All right. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Goodness. All right, let me do that. Bada bing, bada boom. I don't know what type of email address that is. Jeez, what is that? Okay. All right, very weird, but whatever. Okay. All right, so anyway, done with that. All right, where we at? Patrick said no mic drops. My bad. Jay Carly, today's are for real. Enjoy the struggle day. Jumping on here for a hot minute. Everyone, make sure you're on Sunday night training. I'ma rock your ish. Slap you around with some truth. In other words, she's gonna unmute. This weekend, please do find some observation trades to post. What's an observation trade? You mean like when I went back into the projects? I think I know what you're talking about. All right. Joshua, just finished 423 study. Once I get rid of this dumbass juice man, it's on and popping. Winston, are you recording? And really for anyone, you guys should record. You guys need to record. Even if you're not taking a trade, record what you're looking at and share it so we can actually observe the market. Because you don't like that. That's another thing too. It's very educational to observe the market, period. It doesn't, not necessarily just trades. You need to observe the market more so that you know if the timing is right for the trade that was taken. That's why you always hear me, refer you back to look at how the market looked when I took the trade. You're always going to hear me say that. You need to study the market itself. You need to look and see how the market environment was. How was the movement behaving? How was it moving in position? When it moved in position, did it stay there? How long was it there for? Right? That's how you study. And like I said, the better at recognizing the right time that you become, the more efficient your trading will be, period. Because you ain't never going to take a trade at the wrong time. That's hard right there. That's like, that's a powerful statement. You're never going to take a trade at the wrong time. That's hard. Zilla, I'm not joined yet, but will be soon. Winston, March 3rd, 2019, started really paying attention on May 15th. Yep, 3 months is not long. Yep. A lot of people come here for a month and leave. And then they wonder why they don't know anything. I guess they thought like it was a crystal ball or something that they were supposed to get when they came. But no, there's no crystal ball, my man. No crystal ball. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. What's this, huh? All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here. I'm gonna check y'all out on the recap. I will see y'all a little later. Deuces.